Let's take Stanley Mate to do
Standards
a few
Authority,
things.
yeah.
Stanley Mate, good morning. Thanks for joining us. He's the Chief Manager for Public Relations Ghana Water Company. Mr. Mate, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bernard, and good morning to all the panelists.
We haven't spoken this year, so Happy New Year.
Same to you, but you dogged me, so...
No. You're a big man now, so this time I deal with your small boys.
Talking to my MD, me and my MD is the big...
Charlie, so we've been tracking this since yesterday. We are hearing a lot from communities which is peri-urban Accra. So we've heard from Community 25, Oyibi, Wager, Lakeside Community 1, Tuba, and then Amasaman, Sapeman area. So almost all the calls are coming from people who live not within the center of Accra. And most of them are saying they've not had water either from November last year or from February this year. So that's the information I have from the phone calls from yesterday and today. Is this strange to you? Is this something you can help make sense out for me?
Yeah, Bernard, thank you very much. And first of all, I'd want to apologize to most of our consumers who are facing some of these challenges. But Bernard, we've always been talking about our situation and then the solution to it. And that is why we see the water demand management, or what we are all calling the rationing program within the system. As much as possible, we try to manage the rationing program effectively so that everybody can have some water through the week. And then if you're able to store and you get, let's say, averagely in Accra, everybody gets water like 4 days averagely. So if you're able to get like water 3 days in a week and you store, it should be able to take you for the next few days until water flows again. And if you're all managing it effectively, I think we didn't have that challenge. Bernard, I must say that I'm also facing the same challenge. So I have a tank, and at least my tank is able to take me it's about 2 to 3 weeks storage. So when water is not flowing, I resort to my tank, and I don't really feel it. And that is why we keep encouraging everybody that under the circumstances, let us all cultivate that habit of storing water. So that in the event where water is not flowing, we resort to our storage, and that will be cool with us.
Good. So that's an opening remark.
That is one.
Good.
Yes. So yes, I have been monitoring the program since yesterday and this morning as well, and you realize that about 80% of your of the callers were kind of inconsistent. But I appreciate the problem because everybody needs water, and if they're not getting the water regularly, like 24/7, like the way everybody expects, they will be saying those things. But we also have some challenges. Normally, I don't like to talk about our challenges. I like to talk about what we are doing to solve them. And if people should adhere to what we say, then definitely the challenge will not be that enormous, and it will not have that serious impact on us, so that we all can survive the system. Now, in Accra, we have a very huge gap between demand and supply. Okay, so the only way to bridge that gap is to share the water equitably so that everybody can have access to the water, which means that by virtue of where you live, you could get water 24/7 or 6 days in a week or 5 days in a week or even once in a week. But if you are storing, then definitely you should be able to survive it when the water is not flowing. Okay, so that is one. And I've told you the solution to that one. Now, because of the pollution of our water bodies, okay, it's affecting us seriously. I had people call from Pokwase and Amasaman and Sawam and all that. For instance, the water in Sawam is so polluted that our pumps are forced to abstract materials that are not liquid, and definitely it affects the pumps. So at the moment, all our pumps in Sawam treatment plant is broken down. As I speak to you, I'm on my way with our deputy managing director of operations to Sawam because we've been able to procure new pumps, and we are installing, and we want to put pressure on the contractor so that I should fix the pumps as early as practicable so people can have access to water. So pollution our water bodies is affecting us throughout the country because all the water bodies currently are seriously polluted. And if you do not have if the water is not liquid, but it's made up of sand and stone particles and plastics and all that, definitely it affects our patients, or it affects the pumps. And these pumps are very expensive. They're not on the shelves. We need to import them into the system. So it takes a while. Most of them are custom made. So and it's supposed to have a lifespan of about 30 years. So if after 5 years pumps are broken down, then you can imagine the enormity of the challenge that we are faced with. Okay, then someone treatment plant is a new treatment plant. It's less than 10 years old. Okay, and all the pumps are broken down. So you can imagine such a demand in Cape Coast, in the central region. In the space of 3 years, you have had to change all the pumps at the intake because of galamsey operations. So it's affecting us throughout the country. We had to change pumps at Tema Booster Station, which was about 30 million euros. So you can imagine the challenge that we are faced with. Okay, so we will plead with everybody. We plead with everybody. Okay, so to appreciate the situation in which we find ourselves, so that we do what is expected of us, and then the problems, will not be as dying as it is now.
Having said that,
the situation one after the other, at least the one that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, in Community 25, Community 25 is situated at the end of a distribution main. Okay, so before the water gets to that end, the pressure is low. So we try to throttle some of our valves to enable water flow into that area. And so we urge them to store the water. Well, you also realize that in the last few years, we've been very hard on our customers, especially in the collection of our bills. People are not paying for the water that they consume. And bear in mind, our water is not prepaid. It is post-paid. So if you consume the water and you don't pay, how do you expect the Ghana Water Company Limited to make money to enable us procure chemicals, procure equipment and all that to enable us function effectively? So please, Ghana Water is the sole water producer in the country, and it honestly lies on us to manage it effectively so that at least it can serve us for the test of time. You understand? So please, we urge everybody, pay your water bills and pay it promptly. The money that we collect, our price is not cost effective. So the little money that we collect, we invest back into the system to enable us function effectively. So if you don't pay your bills, it affects us. So now I move on to Lakeside.
Stay on the Dowenya for a minute. So just me understand, because they are the end of the chain, the water comes intermittently. So when they get this, you store. What about those who say they don't get at all in the Community 25? Some of them say since February they don't get at all. Is there any reason for that?
Bernard, we have been on a serious disconnection exercise, a serious massive disconnection and arrears mobilization. Okay, so most people are disconnected. Now, if you are not getting water, you're supposed to get water averagely 4 days in a week. So if you're not getting water at all, just pay a visit to the district office and report. And if you are go with your last bill and your last payment receipt. You attended to immediately. We are not saying that the system is a perfect situation. It is not a perfect situation. But if you have a challenge and report to us, we'll do whatever we can to ensure that you have water. We are trying to distribute the water effectively. So the feedback from our customers is also important to us. Now, feedback in terms of, I've not had water this week, I've not had water, it's maybe because we have throttled some valves to enable everybody to have access to water. But in the process of throttling the valves, it has affected flow into your area. So we'll go and reverse it. Because on every day, we sit to brainstorm on how best we can get water to everybody.
All right, let's deal with Lakeside.
Yes, Lakeside, I'm surprised that the lady said they haven't had water since January. I will plead with her to check from the district office. Maybe she's disconnected. And if she's going, she should go with her last payment receipt and then her last bill. You understand? And then
are you saying that? Sorry, are you saying that if somebody at Lakeside Community 1 has not had water since February, it's possible that they have been disconnected? Because I've gotten a number of people who also texted from Lakeside confirming that they haven't had water. So it's not one person; it's a lot of people.
Okay, so let me also say this. The lady who called said that she has 2 pumps in her house. One is connected to our water main. Now, if you live in an area where everybody is connected to a water main, the distribution main, nobody will get the water. You understand? Because the pressure at which these pumps siphon the water from the pipeline, there's no way others will get. And she has done that. She's not getting. It means it's possible that her neighbors have done the same. So we are our own enemies. You understand? We've said over and over again that let's allow the water to flow by itself. Everybody will get. But if you try to use clandestine means in siphoning the water, it will affect your neighbors. So if she's listening to me, she should desist from that and encourage people, others within the community who are doing things to stop it. If you don't, then this is what will happen. There's water in Lakeside. That is why I'm surprised that she says that till January she's not had water. And she should also check whether she's not been disconnected.
So if you are in Lakeside and you don't have water, there are 2 possible reasons. Either you've been disconnected for non-payment of bills, or because people have connected to the mains, it is reducing pressure to your house. So then they should come and report people who have connected to the mains so that the water flows normally.
Exactly. You can even do citizens arrest. If they have an area association, they should meet and listen and advise themselves that everybody should desist from the use of the inline pumps and siphoning the water from the main. If everybody stops, the water will flow.
Let's deal with Tuba.
In recent times, let me give you an example. In recent times, our managing director himself, got somebody in East Legon arrested. The person had about 13 connections into a huge tank, and he was using pumps. The moment that person was disconnected, the whole area started having water because they were not getting water. The moment you arrested that person, and the meter reader who was there was fired because he should have known. You understand? So now with the training and discipline that we instill into our staff, there's no way that our staff will connive with somebody, will condone and connive with somebody to do such a thing. If the person tries it, the person is putting himself at risk.
Good. Let's go to Tuba. Tuba. Did you get the call on Tuba?
Tuba, seriously, I must confess that I don't know exactly where Tuba is located. But
okay, so Tuba is at Wager. So if you get to the toll booth, you turn a left. So you know when they were doing the Kaswa Road, there was a time we had to turn left after the toll booth to appear behind Kaswa. So when you turn left after the toll booth on your way to Kaswa, that's Tuba.
Yes, I've seen the place. That area has the pipeline that says that area is not too big. I think it's about 8 inches or so. And if you look at the development in that area, including Kaswa in the last 10 years, you appreciate the fact that if they are not getting regular flow, then it is just because the water flow into that area is inadequate. Now, we have to do investment in that area by putting up new transmission lines. So, Bernard, you don't have money like that, too. And people are not paying their bills. All we are saying is that, look, the 200 and 300 bills that you are charged with after consuming the water. Let me repeat this. After consuming the water, because our system is postpaid. If you finish consuming and you add water to your budget on monthly basis and you pay, the GWCL will be able to serve you better than we are doing now. Now, as I speak, we are even doing extremely well. You understand? Except that with the peripheral locations within Accra, we are challenged.
All right. So, sorry, Stanley. See, hold on, sir. I want to help you, so we make it easy. So the Tuba, you are saying the pipe is not too big, so you can understand if they don't have enough water because the area has developed rapidly. So the development has outpaced the ability of the water to meet the needs. Is that the Tuba problem?
Yeah.
Good. So I'm coming. So hold on.
But let me add this one. Finance also mentioned it, and I've been saying it every time. It is the haphazard nature of our development within our community. People just put up structures without recourse to the utility. And then when they are done, they just come to us that they want water. Some people will go and lay long lines even without this thing.
So Stan, so I get you. So I'm trying to, because people come from different areas, I'm trying to move quickly through the area so we can get
Let
answers
me
for
talk
them.
about Mensaba, the gentleman who mentioned about Mensaba. And he talked about the quality of the water in that area.
Yes.
That water is not from Ghana water. And he himself mentioned that it is community water. Community water uses boreholes. You understand? So with boreholes, we can't guarantee that. And I'm not in a position to speak on behalf of community water.
But that's actually a good. But that's a good point I wanted to ask. There are many communities that 10 years ago were rural, who were served by community water house. So, for example, if you go to Old Ashoman, Ablaje, and those areas, they are all under community water. But those places are now urban areas. So even Mensaba, 10 years ago, it was a village. Now people live there. How do you how does this work? Because community water is for rural areas, Ghana water is for urban areas. So if an area now has all these houses, who determines when you take over? And who determines community water moves further inside?
Okay, so, we are sister agencies and we all fall under the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources. And so we have our regular meetings where we discuss some of these issues. And then based on the parameters and the factors staring at us, we decide on what to do. Okay, whether to take over or whether to sell bulk water to them or and all that. So all these things are on board, and we are doing that. The ministry is directing us, the ones that should be under community water, the ones that should move from community water to Ghana water and all that. So, part of Mensaba is being supplied by us, and part is being supplied by community water. Okay, so it is part of the programs that we have within the Greater Accra region where very soon we'll be connected.
All right. Let me give you two more. A lady called from Adenta. She says when you get to the Adenta police station, the barrier police station, when you turn right, you're the Dodowa Road, but just before Fidelity Bank. So this is really Adenta. It's almost like behind the Snit Flats. You haven't even gotten to Rowi. This is just before Action Chapel. She says they've not had water for, I don't know, since 2 months.
After the completion of Born Phase 2, okay, Adenta has not had a water problem. Adenta and other enclaves, Bogba, Lakeside, and they've not had any water challenge. So if he has a water challenge in that area, then it is peculiar to his or her home. I'll urge her to visit the district office, and then his situation will be solved. Sometimes there are just minor problems, and then you just need to report to us, and then we'll have it solved. We have folks teams in all our district offices, and they work 24/7. So the moment you inform us, we go down to ascertain what the challenge is and have it rectified. You understand? So consumers and customers must appreciate this. Okay? They must appreciate that, look, we are really working. We are there for the people. We are sacrificing our sleep and everything for the people. We are ready to work. Just inform.
We are informing you. Let's do wager. A gentleman called from a place. He says new wager DVLA top. And he says since 14 February, the water has stopped flowing and he still keeps getting bills, even though the water hasn't come since 14 February. Today is 24th April.
Instead of answering to that single person, I'll generalize it, okay? And I'll say that if anybody lives in an area where he has regular flow, okay, if he does not get water in a day or two, he should report to the district immediately. It is good feedback for us to enable us work and work effectively. That area has no problem. So just report to us. We'll come and check, and then we'll rectify it. But if you wait for 2-3 months to report to the radio station, you are being unfair to yourself, and not to the Ghana water, to yourself, because you have deprived yourself of water.
Well, but some say they've reported. Let me read one message for you. Bernard, we haven't had water since January ending. At Jengano Builder Phase 1, we complain, son, we tire with Ghana water stories. This man is a person I know personally. At Jengano Builder, he said we complain, son, we tire SAF. So I don't know if you've heard of that one.
You know something? Let me talk to this gentleman, and then I'll see what the actual problem is. Because at Jingano, rushing water to Jingano, I think they get water. I think 3 days in a week. I think Thursdays to 30 days or so. So if, for instance, pressures are unable to build up enough, and that is why he's not had water, it could be it, or maybe there's.
Well, this area is. I know this area. This area is behind Rawlings's house. So he said that area since January no water, and they've complained.
So So, let me talk to you because I also have friends who live in that area. They have never complained of water. At least I
All
have
right.
two friends who live around the Islamic University area. They have never called me to
All right.
complain of water.
So I will
So we
connect you
can
to
talk.
him so he can sort it. The other group
Yes,
of calls I've
set up.
received have to do people who say that they get water bills even though they've not had water. Quite a number of people have said that too. Is that an anomaly or how is that possible? That people
It is
get
very,
bills when they don't have
this,
water?
this question, I'm really happy about this question and a very good opportunity for me to explain to all. Now, we have a social contract with our customers, okay? We are expected to give you some services, okay? And the services that include serving you with water at the end of the month will issue you with your bill, and the expectation is that you reciprocate by paying and paying promptly, okay? Now, in the event where you do not have water, that contract is not truncated at that point. Okay, that contract still exists. So whether you have water or not, the bill will come. Now, when the bill comes, you will see if you haven't had water in the billing cycle, within the billing cycle, which is a 30 days. Okay, your consumption will reach zero. But you will see your previous arrears, okay, on the bill. So your previous arrears plus your current bill, assuming that you've not had water in that month, plus your current bill of zero, okay, will give you your amount due. You understand? Sometimes people do not get water in, let's say, 2 weeks, and maybe it transcends within 2 billing cycles. And then they want to say that they haven't had water. Why are you bringing me bill? But the bill that is brought to you is water that you have consumed already, because our system, again, let me repeat, is a post-paid system. So you drink the water before we bring you the bill. You understand? If you do not have any arrears at all, your bill will come and indicate that month your consumption was zero and your bill is 0 cedis. But that aspect of the social contract where we have to give you the bill will not be truncated by Ghana Water. We will keep doing that. Because you don't cease to be our customer when water doesn't flow in your house in a month. You don't cease to be our customer. You are still our customer. And we are doing everything possible to enable you to get water as early as practicable. I hope I'm clear.
I'm following you. So your point is that beyond the water coming, there are other services that have to be paid for. So if people say they haven't had water, it's a misunderstanding of the social contract.
Exactly.
If should the bill not be much less than when they are getting water? So that because you are paying for certain services, but if somebody's bill is beyond 100 cedis or whatever, what are the services they are paying for beyond water, and what level of bill should they get in that case?
Bernard, your bill is your consumption. Our meter measures your consumption, okay? And then it is calculated per the time given to us by PLC. Are you getting it? So it is not like we are billing somebody more or we are billing somebody less. It is your consumption. If you think your bill is too high for you, reduce or manage your consumption, and then it will come down.
All right.
There's no motivation for any staff of Ghana Water Company Limited to increase your consumption when it is not so. Right. Because that money won't go to his pocket.
I have a last question for you, then I have a commendation. The question is, how is the power situation affecting general water supply?
We power our equipment with energy, with power. And we can't even use, let's say, plants or generators, because our equipment are very huge and they require a certain high level of voltage to power them. Now, they also need to be stable. The moment it fluctuates, it trips the pumps and they are unable to function. So we don't use generators, okay? We use energy from the power from the energy grid. Okay, so in the event where there's no power, it affects us. And sometimes when we lose, let's say, even a minute or two of power, it affects the production for about 4 to 6 hours. So if in a day we do not have power, like let's say 2 or 3 times, or let's say we lose, our power is let's say erratic or fluctuating like 2 or 3 times sometimes we lose a whole day of production, and it affects the pressures in the lines as well. So if we say that we are not affected by power,
but by the way, do you have a special connection to say? Do you have special transformers, which you use alone, or do you share transformers with regular citizens? I'm asking this because if, for example, their ECG is putting water off around a particular area, light off, would they be able to go around Ghana Water and say, as for the Ghana Water plant, it's a security installation, so we will give them power while because that would then mean you have a different transformer. Are you able to tell us how that works?
Okay, so I don't know whether I should say it's a convention or it's a policy or that is how it's supposed to be. That all our treatment plants are supposed to have a dedicated line. Okay, that is how it's supposed to be throughout the country. But most times, or what we see now is that our dedicated lines have been tapped on. But all our treatment plants have their separate transformers. Except that now we see others being tapped on our dedicated lines. So they are no longer dedicated. Okay, but we all work together to ensure that we have regular supply of power. In the event where they have challenges with their power or with whatever, it affects us as well. But if everything is okay and is flowing regularly, they're able to produce consistently.
Yes, a bonus. Yes, thank you. Here's a bonus question from Lord Osabote Kofredia Adjeso Snit. He says, I want you to ask Mr. Mate why we at Kofredia Adjeso Snit have not had water since January. Please, what is our crime?
He should forgive us, but he should also be regular with the payment of his bill. You understand? Because we need the money. Bernard, we need the money, and if people consume the water and they don't pay for our services, it affects our operation. Okay, for instance, in Koforidua, not Ejiso alone, but in Koforidua, you start from the Bukono plant, and then there's another plant. I've forgotten the name of the place, but there are two places, two treatment plants that serve the community. One is an old one. Bukono is a brand new plant. But we have challenges with the transmission line. So occasionally there's depth on the transmission line, and we need to shut down and to repair and all that. We're doing everything possible to ensure that there's regular flow within the community. You also bear with me and with us that at least water in Koforidua hasn't been bad at all. I mean, it's been very good.
All right.
But for him not to have water since January, I think he should visit the office and find out what is.
Let me read one for you. It's a good one. This is from George. He says, Bernard, some of our public utilities workers are doing really well. Shout out to one engineer, Akpanya of Ghana Water.
Yes, Akpanya, yes.
We applied for water connection somewhere in Ashie for over 2 years without success. Then a friend told me to give engineer Akpanya a call. The man only requested that I forward my community application to him. And Bernard, within a month, the man brought pipes and connected us all the way from the roadside. He didn't even accept a handshake from us when we went to his office to thank him. Thumbs up to him, Engineer Akpanya. He is a good man. This is from George in Adenta. Do you know Engineer Akpanya?
Yes, I know him very well. He's a regional distribution engineer in Accra, and that is the discipline that we install in our staff. So I'm happy that somebody has commended him. Okay, same way when they misbehave, we fire them. But I'm happy that at least somebody is commending him for the good work that he's done. That is the way we work.
Let me give you another one because I know it's been a difficult morning. Bernard, here at Oyibi, water supply from Ghana Water is regular and very clean. You can even drink it. The pressure is strong and we are able to use it without a pump on our single story. Now my borehole is just a stopgap. This is from a gentleman who lives near Oyibi.
Yeah, Bernard, I'm happy he said so. Bernard, I also drink water directly from the tap. It is the best water you can get. The water that flows through your tap is fresh. You are discussing UK and you can't drink water directly from tap in the UK. I mean, if you mention Sweden, fine. If you mention Holland, but UK, you can't drink directly from the tap. You understand? Our water is comparable to water in Sweden and in Denmark and in UK. In Holland. You understand? I drink directly from the tap, and I say that all the time. That water the water that flows through your line is less than 24 hours, so it is fresh because we produce consistently. You understand? Every day we are producing, so it is fresh.
All right.
It is not stored before distribution. It is once we are producing, we are distributing. You understand? So it is the best water you can get. That is why our packaged water, the G water, is also the best on the market. You understand? It is the best.
Thank you for.
Please drink water from the tap. Let me urge you.
Will it be too much to ask for a timetable of okay, let me explain it. Like, you have people who have water 3 days a week and that kind of thing.
Like a wrestling program.
Is it because
a wrestling program is at the district level, and everybody is aware when they get water, except that when they are telling you to do the system. Let's say you're supposed to have water on a Wednesday, and then something happens, like a birth, or let's say there's something. Something is wrong, and so you don't get the water on a Wednesday. You get on a Thursday, or you don't get from Wednesday to Friday when you're supposed to get on Wednesday to Friday. We can't alter the rationing program because it is not an easy job.
No, my point is that is the rationing program available for people to know? So if somebody lives in,
everybody within the system is aware, and occasionally we publish it. Occasionally we use public address system to inform the people in the area, especially when there's a change.
Sorry, Stanley, just hold on. I want to understand something. Is the rationing program per district? So, for example, Tema district has a rationing program, or is it based on localities?
Yes, it's at the district level. Okay. Now, what we have done now is to do what we call DMs, district limited area. Okay, so with the DMs, you are able to tell the volumes of water that comes within your district at a certain time or within.
So where would they find the information?
That is what I'm saying, that everybody is aware, because it's not now. We started rationing long ago.
So I'm the only person who doesn't know that there's a district. Is it on some WhatsApp platform? Is it on your website? Or if I live at Kwabinya, where will I get the information?
We have WhatsApp platforms. We have Telegram platforms for our customers within the community. If there's a customer who is not on those ones, he should do that. And then let me also mention this. Our customer app. Everybody should download the GWCL customer app, because every information is there. That is Ghana Water Company in your pocket or on your phone. Download the Ghana Water customer app. Every information, announcements, your bill, and everything is there. You can pay your bill through the app in the comfort of your bedroom. You understand? We are doing a lot of things to make things easier for our customers. They should take advantage of that. If anybody is listening to me, go onto your Google Play Store or your App Store and download the Ghana Water customer app. There's a lot of good words about our app, and let us use it and use it effectively, Bernard.
Always good talking to you, Stanley Mate, who's the head of communication, Ghana Water Company.